If you're thinking about moving to Hamilton, Ontario in 2025, there are 5 neighborhoods that you're going to want to keep an eye on. You don't want to guess your way through your real estate search. If you're planning to buy or you just want to know where the smart money is headed, start here. Hamilton isn't just one vibe. It's not just steel mills and waterfalls. There's a bit more going on here. It's a rich tapestry of very different areas. Some of them are thriving, some of them not so much. And if you pick the wrong neighborhood, it doesn't matter how nice the house is, you'll be feeling it daily. So if you're thinking of buying in Hamilton, here are 5 neighborhoods you're going to want to keep an eye on based on the recent market trends. My name is Steve Lopresti. I'm a real estate agent here in Hamilton, Ontario. So if you have any questions at all, you can always reach out to me. My contact info is up on the screen. Let's get into the video. Now, before we jump into the individual neighborhoods, let's talk about the overall Hamilton market and where it stands currently. So the stats from April of 2025 showed that the average price in Hamilton is around $791,000. Sales volume is down about 20% compared to the previous year in April. Inventory is at about 4.2 months of supply, which is the highest we've seen since 2009. And the average days on market is about 33 days, which is up 25% from this time last year as well. So this isn't a red hot seller's market anymore. Things have cooled and we're shifting now towards buyer's market territory. Sellers are nervous and listings are sitting for longer, so now is a great time to be trying to get into the market. For the first time in a while, buyers have room to negotiate on price, terms, closings, all that fun stuff. This kind of leverage doesn't show up too often, and it also doesn't last long. So if you're even thinking about buying in Hamilton, you're going to want to get that process started ASAP. Let's make sure to use this window to your advantage. All right, so the first neighborhood you're going to want to keep an eye on is Dundas, which is an old, historic, walkable area, which is very, very nice. The average home price in Dundas is around $985,000, and we're seeing a big uptick in the sales that are happening in this area. They're up 48% year over year. So we're seeing a lot of people trying to get into Dundas for good reason. Dundas feels kind of like a storybook town that's tucked at the edge of a city. It's got that kind of small town vibe where you can go get a haircut, a sandwich, go grab a coffee, and like walk the place, but you're still relatively close to downtown Hamilton and all the amenities nearby. And you can do all of that without ever having to see a strip mall. So this isn't a budget option. $985,000 is quite a chunk of change, but there's a reason why a lot of people are getting into the Dundas market. There's a lot of older, beautiful homes there. The nature is incredible. So there's tons of reasons why you'd want to keep an eye on Dundas. It might not be the place for a first-time buyer who's trying to get into the market, but if you're trying to move up and you want to expand out a little bit out from the city, Dundas is a great spot for you. All right, the second area is the Hamilton Mountain. Now, this is going to be one of the more affordable areas for you to buy, with the average sale price around $690,000. Hamilton Mountain is a suburban, practical, no-nonsense area. So the reason why the Hamilton Mountain is a very popular spot, especially for first-time buyers, is one, it's affordable. It's compared to other areas in Hamilton anyways. Second, it's actually nice and you'll actually enjoy living there. And the third and most important thing is that sales are actually down 14% compared to this time last year, which means there's tons of houses out there that aren't selling, which means for you as a buyer, you have a ton of negotiating leverage. You can actually negotiate instead of getting shoved into a bidding war with 15 other people. So for below $750,000, you can get yourself a detached house, driveway, a garage, a backyard, and actually getting some space between your neighbors and all their drama. So while it might not be as Instagrammable as a place like Dundas, it's very solid and it's where most people trying to enter the market end up. The third area you're going to want to keep an eye on is Stoney Creek. With an average home price of $790,000, it's a little bit pricier than the Hamilton Mountain, but over in Stoney Creek, you'll get a lot more new builds, a lot more growing families in that area, and you still get direct access to the QEW, so your commute from Stoney Creek is going to be very easy. It's just a short hop to Niagara or Burlington. Since the homes are a lot newer over there, you don't really have to worry too much about doing extensive renovations. You can buy something and move right into it. Here as well, we're seeing homes sitting for a lot longer than in the past. I think the days on market is around 33 last time I checked, which means, again, you have more negotiating room. Now, one of the biggest selling features for Stoney Creek is the access to Lake Ontario. If you want to go for a walk, that is a perfect place to be doing it. Just having access to that nature is one of the biggest selling points of Stoney Creek. So if you want modern builds, family-friendly vibes, and value without sacrificing comfort, Stoney Creek is the place. Especially if you still need to commute, but you want a little bit more than a glorified shoebox that they call a condo. All right, the fourth place to keep an eye on is Waterdown. Waterdown is to the north of Hamilton, and it's technically still a part of Hamilton, but it feels like an area of its own. Has just the right mix of laid-back vibes with let's build some equity here. Now, Waterdown's going to be one of the more expensive places to buy in Hamilton with a average purchase price of just over $1 million. This place is growing fast, but it still feels tight-knit. It's not overflowing with nightclubs or food festivals, but if you're looking for calm, clean, consistent, this is the spot. Now, $1 million isn't cheap, I'm aware of that, but this area is holding its value quite strong despite the dips in the market, and some areas are still gaining value. So if you're looking for long-term equity growth, Waterdown is the place to be. All right, the fifth and final neighborhood that you're going to want to keep an eye on if you're thinking of buying a home is Ancaster. Now, this is one of the more expensive areas in Hamilton, but it's definitely one of the nicest as well. The average home price is around 1.3 million, and sales are up about 23% year over year. So similar to Waterdown, if you're looking for long-term equity growth in a stable community, Ancaster is the place you're going to want to be. It's the type of area that holds its value even when the rest of the market is being a little shaky. So in Ancaster, you can expect massive lots with tons of privacy, solid schools and infrastructure, established neighborhoods that don't feel like subdivisions, and a strong community. So even with a price tag crossing 1.3 million, buyers are still showing up and the demand has remained relatively consistent even in a market slowdown. So this should tell you all you need to know about Ancaster's long-term confidence. Ancaster isn't a starter zone. It's a place for buyers who want to plant roots, start building some equity, and stop moving every 5 years. It's more forever home territory. If you're in a strong financial position and you want peace and quiet, security, space, and long-term stability, then Ancaster's the place for you. Once people move here, they rarely want to leave. So which neighborhood fits you? The best neighborhoods aren't the ones with the most hype. It's the ones that best fit your life, your timeline, your financials, and your goals. The good news is, when you're picking a neighborhood, you don't have to guess. If you're currently scrolling through listings with no real plan, let's fix that before you keep spinning your wheels. Reach out to me for a free buyer consultation. We'll sit down and we'll go over your budget, your timeline, your strategy, what you're trying to do, and which neighborhood in Hamilton is the best one for you. And if you're interested, you can also download my free first-time home buyer survival guide. It'll just walk you through the entire process, how to write your offers, what mistakes to avoid, all that fun stuff. My contact info is up on the screen and it's also down in the description. You can just send me an email and I'll send that right over to you. And if you have any questions at all, you can feel free to reach out at any time. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this. All right, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.